is, let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Except no, because this character is too young. And now I sound like a 50-year-old Karen. So hello and welcome back. This week I am here to talk about Christine Feehan's Dark Wolf. It is one of those paranormal romance novels, and I am just now noticing the shirtless dude in the cover. I just saw the wolf, and that's all that I saw. So, as per my usual, I started this book in the middle of the series. It says on Amazon book 25, so I guess I missed 24 other books of context, which kind of led to some of my confusion. Like, I don't really understand what the difference is between a Carpathian and a vampire. They both have, depending on which version of vampire you're looking at, like they both have psychic abilities, borderline magical abilities, and also they both like chow down on people and drink blood. I also don't understand the difference between lichens and werewolves, and maybe that's just because I didn't like read a whole lot of werewolf folklore in the past, but don't really know the difference. As far as I can tell, Carpathian is kind of like Edward Cullen, and vampires are kind of like the Volturi, but like more evil and less lawful. And then, so I guess James, the hunter, the tracker dude in the first book. And then I guess Lichen is more like Jacob Black, and werewolves are more like, well, they call them rogues. Rogue wolves are more like Fenrir Greyback. And speaking of all those Twilight references, I got really heavy Twilight vibes from that. That said, this is a much better love story and general story than Twilight. So, this book it's kind of lengthy, but it's pretty engaging. I finished it pretty quickly. It follows the story of Skylar, who is a 19-year-old girl who, for all intents and purposes, is human, but she's been raised in the world of Carpathians, so like good vampires, who also can apparently still have babies, ? And she has a life mate, Dimitri, and Dimitri is a Sangre Rao, and I probably mispronounced that, or this other really long name that I'm not even going to try to pronounce because it will be butchered. Anyway, the Sangre Rao literally apparently means bad blood. And then the other really long word that I can't say, so I'm not going to try, it means guardian of all. So for the Carpathians, the good vampire type people, they're like, yay, he's like super powerful and like amazing, and he's a savior and a guardian. And then all of the lichens, even the good ones and not the rogue ones, are like, no, he has to die. And they think that all mixed blood, because a mixed blood is a combination of a Carpathian and a lichen, that they're all bad, or that they will all be bad. And even though Dimitri's not bad yet, he will be bad. So, not to give too many spoilers away, but basically they have Dimitri held captive, and they're slowly killing him. And Skylar is like, oh my gosh, Dimitri, I love you so much. And she like recruits her best friends, Joseph and Paul, who were like really good comedic relief, and like loved them as characters. They fell somewhere between like dude best friend and like a brother, and I just really thought that their characters were fun and I enjoyed them. Anyway, so she recruits them on a rescue mission. Nobody else can find Dimitri except for her. And mind you, again, she's this little human girl who has some psychic abilities, because apparently she's got like mage blood, which I guess is like wizard blood, and she's also got dragon seeker. Don't really know what that's about, but I guess she's like in tune with the earth, so maybe there is like some Wiccan vibes or something going on. Again, missed 24 books of context. Anyway, so she's just like super badass and rescues him. Well, after they're rescued, you know, like drama ensues, because what would a romance drama novel be without that? And there's like life or death, and like people are worried, there's some battle scenes, it's really intense, really engaging, and then everything is like, it's not fine, because there are still a bunch of conspiracies and nobody knows who to trust. But then the story just kind of like pivots to focus more on Skylar and Dimitri, and I get that they're the main characters and that it's, for all intents and purposes, like their story and the next step in it. Again, missing context. But like, oh my gosh. The amount of sex. I'm not even that prudish. Like, I'm a little prudish, but like, this was a lot. And it's not like it's horribly graphic, like porn novel in your head. It's not like that erotic. It's definitely erotic though. Also, I hate how there are no good words for vagina. The word that Feehan decided to go with was sheath, and that made me a little uncomfortable. So, there's also that. Anyway, but like, I didn't have a problem with the sex scenes themselves, or the number of sex scenes, excuse me. My problem was that at the beginning of the book, Skylar was this badass girl who's like, yeah, I'm a little human person who like has a traumatic history and has these psychic powers and like also all this baggage and shit. But I'm gonna rescue the love of my life because no one else is gonna do it and he's gonna die. And she just like kicks butt. She like literally takes multiple bullets for him. It's intense. And I'm just like, go you, Skylar. And then she's like, oh no, will I be good enough in bed for him? And then, oh no, will I ever be able to have a baby with him? I'm like, girl, you're 19. You're like 12. Stop. Also, on that side note, with the whole like drama and like fighting and like life or death, she gets turned into a full Carpathian. So now she's immortal unless someone kills her by murder, which I still don't really know how to kill a Carpathian because book 25. But like, she literally has the rest of eternity to worry about this. And she's worried about it like a normal human girl, and like, I don't know, the turn of the century, like worried about being a spinster. Like, that was just such a letdown for me. Because, I mean, I'm not saying that at the beginning of the book she's some feminist icon, but like, she's way more progressive and intense and awesome and cool at the beginning of the book than she is at the end. Like, she's still kind of cool. Like, they get to have like these like fighter hunter wolf pups, and she starts to get really good at them, at training with them. But she's still just like, will I be good enough for Dimitri? Will he still find me sexy? And it's like, yes, they're literally life mates. Like, they're bound in some funky paranormal ritual so that like their souls are always going to be together. Like, he's not going to stop loving her. Calm down. So that was kind of my issue, is that like the book was really well written. It's super descriptive. The characters are well thought out and developed. The plot is really intriguing for the most part. And then the last like, I don't know, third of the book is just her worrying about sex and her having sex and stuff. Like, I wanted to see more Dimitri. There's a lot of Dimitri. I wanted to see more Joseph and Paul. I wanted to see more Fen, Dimitri's brother. I wanted to see more of the other people, and maybe they all get their own books in the other 24 books. But I was just like, kind of let down by the end a little bit. Which, like, maybe that's a trend for me. I don't know. Like I said, it's not the amount of sex. It was just that she was so focused on sex at the end. That kind of annoyed me. Because she was so cool at the beginning. So, would I recommend? Yes. If you like paranormal stuff, if you like vampires, werewolves, like, check it out. If you don't like sex, if you are prudish, nothing against that, maybe not the book for you. I want to say there's also like a decent amount of swearing. I'm kind of forgetting off the top of my head. But, no, that was my last book. No. So it's really just the sex. Or if you're just like one of those people who is uncomfortable about the paranormal, maybe give this a pass. But if you like it, and if you like romance, and if you do like those erotic scenes, like, it's got you covered. Also, the plot was really good, like I said, up until all the sex concerns. So that's all I've got. And next week I will be taking a look at Pillow Thoughts by Courtney Peppernell. This was given to me a couple years ago now. And it's been one of those books that's just been sitting on my shelf, and honestly, I don't know how I'm going to get through it. It's a poetry book, and it's not because I don't like poetry. I do. I actually write some poetry. You can check it out on my blog. It's just that the first few chapters are, like, very much love related and, like, heartbreak related. And that hits a little close for home. So, we'll see. I'm looking forward to checking it out. And hopefully, I'll have some good things to say. So, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to check out my blog, my other blogs. I really appreciate your engagement.